What's up guys, and welcome in another Photoshop tutorial. My name is Marcin as always, and today I'd like to show you how to create this kind of manipulation. Well, maybe not a whole manipulation this time, because I decided to split this tutorial for a few parts because it might be too long. I guessed it more. It's quite possible it could take 2 hours or even more, so I think it would be better to split this tutorial for a few parts. Probably it's gonna be 3 parts of this tutorial. But anyway, I hope you're gonna enjoy. I'm not sure. I do not decide yet, so there's a chance I upload this tutorial not in few parts, but as a one video, as a 2 hours long tutorial. I'm not sure. So like a few days ago I upload speed art on my channel. If you follow in my channel, if you follow my Facebook page, you've probably seen this speed art. If you enjoyed, I hope you're gonna enjoy this tutorial. If you would like to know how I created this kind of manipulation, how I've made this this manipulation you've seen on the speed art, you can follow this tutorial. I hope it won't be too complicated, because I think it might look like advanced tutorial, advanced manipulation, but I don't think so. I think like everyone could do this, but of course you have to make some effort to create this. It's definitely not for lazy people, so if you are ambitious, if you know some basic things about Photoshop, I'm sure you can do this kind of manipulation. So I would like to record this tutorial in few parts. At first I'd like to show you how I create this kind of background, because actually I used few images to create this background. Let me see, what was that? Just to remind myself, I have to know which images I used here. I have to remove most of the things I made. Just wait a second. Alright, so in this tutorial I'm gonna show you how to create this kind of background at first. Of course it should be lightning effects as well, so I'm gonna show you lightning effects. And well, let's start. Have to remove all of this. That's how look my background. If you would like to know how to create this kind of background that actually looks like one image, or that sky looks like one image, and actually I used like 4 images to create this background. So let's start, and as I said, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Be patient, because it's gonna be really long tutorial, but it's worth to watch. So of course at the beginning we have to open a new project, and open this new layer. On this layer it's like size, it's like 1920 width, and height is 1080. It's like proper size. I make it a bit smaller for a tutorial, because actually my original image was like 400 pixels, so it was really large, but like it's not so good. It was too large to create a tutorial for this, because like it would be too slow, so I decided to make it a bit smaller. So create a new layer, which gonna be your background, and then let's create our proper background. At first, of course, we have to open a few stock images. Most of the image I found on DeviantArt and website Pond5, which offer me some stock images from their websites, which gave me some credits. That's the reason why I used their stock images, which are really great and helpful. Like, if not there, I wouldn't create this manipulation, so it was really helpful. But Like if you don't have Pond5 account, I recommend you DeviantArt as always. So let me find some of the images, some of the stock images. I hope I do not talk too much, but like I used to talk so much when I'm creating our tutorials, because I do not want to make this my tutorials too boring. So I prefer to talk, even if you hate my talking, even if you hate my accent, I prefer to talk. As I said, it's gonna be 4 images to make my background. I'm gonna change the image size of these images a bit. Alright, now I shut this one. I'm gonna use desert as a first one. I wasn't sure about that desert image because I feel I don't need that actually, because it's gonna be in height later, but I'm gonna use this just in case if it would be different than the image on my tutorial. So the thing I have to do on this sky layer, of course I have to create a layer mask, and when I do this I'm gonna use black brush to clear the edges here, to clear the edge. Oh, too much I guess. Have to be like really careful about this. Right, maybe like that, and let's use well, I'm gonna try with larger brush to make it a really soft. Alright, and next stock image, I guess it was this one. Of course I have to change the image size, 1920. Again, let's create a layer mask using a brush. Let's clear this stuff. I shouldn't do this, I guess. Not sure which was first. I guess this one, but as you see, the color isn't really good. Of course, I have to desaturate at first that desert layer, just a bit. That color is just too yellowish. The same about that sky layer. But just a bit, or maybe actually not. But let's go back to our last sky layer, and it doesn't fit at all, as you can see. I made a mistake. This layer is gonna be as our last one. Not sure about this. And this layer is gonna be now. 1920 because it just fit much better. I knew I did something wrong, so just brush a bit here, and it like fit much better than the other image. But the thing is, it's a different color, so we have to adjust. We have to adjust a bit this this layer. First, I have to desaturate this first image just a bit, and I want to apply it to the layer under hue saturation into one layer. So click right and create a clipping mask. It's gonna be applied only into this layer, and then I'm going back into my layer 4, this layer, again hue saturation, create a clipping mask, and let's desaturate this image a bit, something like this. Maybe I should add some lightness. And now it would be nice to add photo filter, because actually it doesn't fit at all. So photo filter, and I think this warm filter works really nice. It might be this one, and let's create a clipping mask. So now I guess it looks a bit like one layer. Some corrections. It looks really nice. Maybe I should take down some saturation from the desert layer. Maybe it will be even better without this layer. I'm not sure, but like, no bother about this. Yeah. You know what? I do this a bit different than on speed art. I think it will be just much better to use only sky. I don't need that desert thing. And at the end, I'm gonna use this sky layer. So let's brush it here, something like that. Of course, again, the problem is the color doesn't work. Again, hue saturation, desaturate this layer a bit into minus 25 saturation, and again a photo filter just to adjust this layer to the rest of them. Should be better. I forgot about clipping mask. Create clipping mask, the same as on photo filter, and that's how it looks like. I think it's really nice. Maybe that first layer is a bit too yellowish, but I wouldn't be bothered about this, because we're pretty much done with background, but of course we have to do some correction, not only some, but like general correction at the end. So hue saturation, last hue saturation, and now let's desaturate these layers like really a lot, maybe minus 35, and then I'm going to use gradient map at the end. And the thing is, I'm really like not sure which gradient map would be the best for this, because I forgot which colors I was using. I think it was like really soft green color for this, like the way you see now, like really gray green color, something like that. And the color for highlights would be a bit yellowish maybe. I'm not sure, like anyway, let me check, because like I'm pretty sure that it's a bit wrong color, so just I don't care about this. I'm gonna use this kind of yellowish color. It looks fine for me, and change opacity into 50%. It looks like this. I think it looks like really fine. Maybe we could add some lightness on saturation layer, and looks like this. The thing I'd like to do, we could add some Gaussian blur at the end, but it's not really like necessary. So let's create a stamp. On this blur layer, convert into smart object, and then filter, blur, and Gaussian blur. And change not into screen because it's gonna be too soft. Same not into soft light, just leave the normal layer and change opacity into 50 maybe. Let's check. It's just too blurry, so maybe even more, 20%. Yeah, I goes into 20, maybe 25%. And right, like at the end, it would be nice to create another stamp, and it's gonna be lightning effect, which is really important on this kind of manipulation. So click filter, render, and lightning effect. I think my properties are already done, mostly, but I changed the image size. So I have to do some correction, of course. It's really huge project, so everything is really slow. Here you have my properties. I want this light to be focused on the bottom of the image, like on, sorry, not on the bottom, on the middle of the image, and the corners are bleed. I would like to make all the corners, all the edges a bit burned, would be proper word. So let's see how does it looks like. Of course I have to do this again, but the point is I forgot about smart filter. I was pretty sure I applied a smart filter, convert to smart object, I'm sorry. So you can filter, render, lightning effects, and it's gonna be fine like this. Let's check. It might be a bit too dark, and I know it is too dark for me, So the thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change opacity into 50%, and now I think it looks like really fine. If it's too darker for you, of course you can make this image a bit lighter earlier, like here, I mean in hue saturation layer. But this project is actually a pretty dark. So when we're finished with our background, let's select all the images, press Command and G if you're working on Mac, and I guess Control and G if you're working on Windows, to put this into one group. So that's how we finished first part, and actually it took me 20 few minutes. It's not really long, so I think I'm gonna to continue this tutorial. So our second part will be everything about our model. At first I have to import image of my model into my background, and then of course I have to do all this splatter and other effects which gonna create using some kind of brushes. So at first I have to find my model, which I'm really not sure where is it, so it might take me a while. I record that video at the different times, so if it's a different tonation of my voice or something like that, just sorry for that, but I hope it's not. Right, I found my model. Here's my model, but image of her, it's a bit too large probably. Of course it was like this, but I use a pen tool to cut this image from the background. So let me see image size. Obviously it's really large. Actually should be fine. It will be something like this. Of course I have to do some correction. Take a look. Of course the problem is that model doesn't work really well with this background, because obviously color is completely different. But at first I have to do some correction, because like it doesn't look well, as you can see. So create layer mask, select brush, change the size, and of course I have to clear this out, some parts. It don't has to be perfect now, because actually this manipulation, this kind of manipulation don't have to be, this thing don't has to be done really well. And the reason why, it's of course because everything, all of this gonna be splatter, so there's really no such a huge sense to do all these corrections. But just as an example, I know this tutorial is really long, so quite possible that lots of you missed some parts, but if you're watching this right now, let me know in the comment if it's a really good thing if I show you everything in a tutorial, such a thing like this, about some kind of correction on the edges, like cleaning this image using layer masks. Or it would be better maybe if I would upload only really important parts about such a huge manipulation, like creating process or something like this, and not whole process about how I create this kind of manipulation. As I said, it doesn't look really well. So now hue saturation to desaturate our model. Then click right and create clipping mask, because that saturation has to be only on model. I think it looks really fine now. Of course we can use gradient map, but like I'm even not sure if it's necessary, because it looks really fine now. I can do this. Just command click on this, and now let's try with a gradient map. I think it looks good. So we can start the process about doing all the splatter, but at first I would like to add some clock behind the model. It looks like really nice. Don't save, but where is that? Probably somewhere in my DeviantArt stocks. This clock. This, as you can see. Alright, now it's fine. So right, layer via copy, and now we have, might be large. Let's try. Actually, it was good size, and I made a mistake. And I'd like to apply that clock behind my model. And I think like best blend mode would be screen, if it's not too soft, and opacity about 50. I would say 50% would be really great. But you have to do some correction, because like soft light might be too dark, but who knows. Let's so we have to do some corrections on this clock. I gotta add layer mask. Actually, this clock should be applied as a background. So let me do this here. and it looks really well now. Now I can change opacity to 50%. It looks really nice now. So let's go back into our model, and now it's a proper time to do all these patterns. Doesn't matter. And what I'm gonna do now, I have to do some splatter. I have to do some correction. So go to filter, liquify, and I have to do some weird thing here. I know it looks like really terrible for now, but it's really necessary. It's a part of the plan, let's say. All right. And now I'm gonna use white brush with some splatter to create some brush with explosion effects and this kind of things to do really nice splatter effect. You have to be really careful. It's not an easy thing. So let's say it's enough for now. And I have to brush some of this from my model, of course, but now I have to use black color of brush. I'm gonna use this gradient map again later because it doesn't look well for now. Alright, it's too many of splatter, so we have to change this for now. Let's say it's fine, even if it's not. You have to clear this out here again, because it can't be like this. And now it's fine. Now I can use some brushes to make it even better. But I have to do this grad map thing again. Which is not really well. I want to desaturate this splatter a bit, but again create clipping mask here, and now everything looks much better. So now under the model we have to create a few layers because I'm gonna use brushes here. I think this one will be best one. Of course, all credits are in the description if you would like to find some of the nice brushes I used here. Right. let's clear this out. Stop it here. And change opacity to 70 maybe. Just too strong. Now again. At first I have to use eyedropper tool to drop some color actually. Alright, and now will be splatter number 3. Transform. Hope the color isn't too soft, but yeah, I think it's fine. It's really, really looks good. This kind of splatter. Maybe should be more. I'm like really not sure about this. Maybe it's too much here. I don't know, but I guess like it's really fine. Maybe like it's too many of this here. It's really hard to say. So I'm gonna call this pair behind. Sorry. I've got an impression that it's like opacity might be still too strong, so let's try with 80. Maybe later I'm gonna change this a bit. We'll see. And the thing is, I could add some splatter in the front of the model. So create new layer. Again, splatter. But which color? I think this color will be really nice. Alright. So we're done with splatter for now. There's gonna be more things actually. More things to do later. But I'm really happy we're done with splatter for now, for these effects. And not sure about what's gonna be next. I think it will be proper time to add our thorns and other stuff, but of course at first it would be nice to Dutch and burn to our image. Sorry. Click edit fill and fill this layer with 50% gray, then change blending mode to overlay, overlay, to make it invisible. And now we can use some Dutch tool. It's very shiny, maybe even too shiny, but it's fine. And now burn tool, of course. Using burn tool, we paint with black. Some shadows here, here, here. Now I'd like to create another layer. Now I'm gonna use mix brush on her hair, mixer brush tool. Actually, you can see my properties here, so I think it's fine, and I'd like to brush her a bit to make them blurry, mixed, whatever you want to call this. Sorry if I'm talking too quiet from time to time, but like when I'm doing a really long tutorial, I feel like I'm talking to myself. That's the point when I'm talking too quiet. So I'm really sorry for this. I hope it's not bad, because usually during editing, I used to fix this out, so it's not really bad about my voice when it's too quiet. Maybe a bit on face. Oh, it's fine. As you see, there is still some bad thing. Alright, and at the end, about Moto, I'm gonna do a really soft makeup on her eyes. It's something like really simple with green color. Not sure if it looks well. I just wanted to change that color a bit. And I'm gonna change opacity to 70% if it would be too strong. And for now we're done with model. There's really still a lot of things to do, but we finished with other part, let's say, and I'm gonna put this into the group, which I'm gonna call model. And we are slowly going till the end. It's going fine for now, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. As I said before, it's proper time to add some turns now, which gonna be our other effects. Like then we're gonna add some textures, and we are going till our final result. So as a turns, I have to, no, later I'm gonna create new graph. And about tones, I have some really nice brushes actually, which I'm gonna use. I found these brushes on DeviantArt, and they are really just great. I have to find a proper color, and at first I'm gonna use these brushes, which are really great. Let's see, it won't be so easy, so you have to manipulate some of them and stuff like this, but it's gonna be really nice effect. If you fancy this, of course you could find some stock images with thorns, and I guess it would be much easier to use stock images, but it was really hard to find what I was looking for, so I'm gonna use brushes. As I said, it's really not easy to do this what I want. I have to be really careful with painting them, because as you see, it doesn't look so natural because it's just a brush. It's really hard to do proper shape. Let's say it's fine like this. Now I have to use, sorry, at first duplicate this layer and change black mode to overlay. It's gonna be like really strong color. Alright, let's put that into the group. Thorns, or thorn will be better, and duplicate group. First this one, I'll try with free transform and warp. I can't use a warp, it's really terrible. I can't use that as a group. It's really my mistake. It doesn't matter anyway. Right. So free transform, warp, to create a proper shape of our thorn. Should be fine now. Like this. duplicate this layer and change blend mode to overlay and it looks like this. I don't like this tone actually. It doesn't look well at all. Let's say it's fine. What's here? I'm gonna do this tone again, a new one. So I think one of these might be bigger in the front of our model. Now merge layers, all of these layers, because I want to make it blurry. And there's no other way to do this actually. It's too blurry actually. So it really can't be like this for me. Now do this again. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Maybe like this. Will be fine. Duplicate this group again. And maybe last turn at the end. Some simple, uncomplicated turn, like with completely different shape. It doesn't work really. So my bad now. And create new layer. Of course, duplicate, overlay, duplicate again maybe. Merge layers, some transform. Filter, blur and Gaussian blur again. And I think we're done with our terms. So it's really loud. I could do this on less amount of layers. So let me do some correction now, because I made too many layers now. We don't need so many of them. Actually, I could do this on separate layers without groups. Groups wasn't necessary. Check how many of these we have. And insert group. So we're done with our turns. I have an impression that there's something wrong with them actually, with some of them. This one should be here, as well as This one should be here as well. And sorry, some correction. I put some thorns behind the model and some of them on the front of her, so that's the reason why I did this actually now. And it's a really proper time to add some textures, like fire textures and other stuff like this, to improve this image. So time for some stock images. I will start with 0.5 stock images. Sure, it was this one. Let's check the size of image. It's probably way too large, so we have to do a small correction really and take a look. Change that to screen. Fine like this. Of course, have to clear the edges of that texture because it doesn't look well at all. Like this. And then it's time for another stock images. It's gonna take me a while, as always with stock images. It's always really long process. Sorry, there's so much chaos with thorns that it happens. Not sure about this image. Screen again. And it's almost done. Don't need this layer anymore as well. And I need some, it was in DeviantArt stocks. I'm looking for glitter. Where's that? Not flame, not this. Here you are. I've got you. One 920. It's wrong one. Should be fine like this. And again, screen, and it looks really impressive. If it's too strong, change opacity to maybe 70% or even less if you want. If some of this doesn't look so nice, we can simply remove them from our image, because of course we really care about this. And now it's look really nice. I'm not sure if it isn't too strong, but we almost done. The thing I would like to add at the end, of course we have to put that into the group. We don't have to, but we have to keep the order. So I'm gonna call this textures and think at the end I'm not happy with the turns I made. Should be much better, honestly. And at the end we can add some brushes. Let me find. I'm gonna use the nicest one, which is this one, I guess. Okay, I want to use like really huge. So I need color bloody red. This. Again, maybe different one. And now it's fine like this. And of course, again, if it's too strong, change opacity a bit. Into the group, brushes, maybe a bit more if it's still too strong. And now it's just a proper time to, of course I have to do some corrections, maybe not here. And I have to do some more correction on the textures. I find out a plugin called Nik Collection, and to be a bit more precise, it's Color FX4, I guess. Let me check. Alright, so I'm done here. Sorry for that chaos. At first I have to create a stamp on the top. I'm gonna call this final, and we have to convert this to smart object. And the filter I'm talking about is Color FX Pro. It's just a trial version. You can find trial version on the internet. You can download. It's just a Nik Collection Color FX Pro 4. Honestly, I'm thinking about buying a full version of this, because the effects are really just perfect. So like, it's sort of my final plugin at the moment right now, and I can't imagine anything different. for now. So that's how it looks like. There are my properties from the previous stuff, so add another filter. At first I'm gonna use tonal contrast. Second will be glow, of course. I have to find glamour glow. There you go. Another filter which gonna be not color stylizer, cross processing. And the filter looks the best for me is the last one. It's definitely beautiest color I could possibly imagine. If it's too strong, of course, you can change the opacity, actually strength of this. I think about 30%, it's really fine. Next would be detail extractor. Of course, it's quite important. In this kind of manipulation, details has to be really well present. Alright, I think like this is really fine. So another filter would be vignette, some kind of blur vignette. I need really small size, like 7% maybe. Transition maybe at 60, size really small, about 9, and opacity 90. It looks fine like this. And last filter, I'm gonna use darken light and center. And the thing why I'm gonna use this is because I want to make this image a bit darker than it actually is. So I think now it looks really fine. Of course it might be even darker like this, but it would be too dark. Don't want to do this. So face the center part about 0 and border luminosity about 40, 50 actually might be. I think like this look really nice. So let's check our final result, how it looks now. I think the second half of this tutorial was really slow, maybe really boring. I should do some correction here, but I missed that. I don't like that fire here next to her face. But, well, let's say maybe it's fine. Maybe some of people would like this. I don't know. This tutorial actually is done. I'm a bit happy about this tutorial. There's some mistakes, like I made some mistakes, like as I said about this fire here. Maybe the tone could be different, and too many layers obviously. But tutorial is done. It's definitely the best tutorial I probably made so far, and my best project I actually made. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it wasn't too boring. I know at some point I didn't speak so much, but maybe it's better you have whole process how I made this, how I create this kind of manipulation. Maybe you don't like when I talk too much, maybe you just want to see my process, how I do these things. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was really fun for you. For me it was. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you soon in the next Photoshop tutorial. Not so long manipulation. I really want to take some rest from manipulations that are too long. Probably it's really hard to watch such a long tutorial. So probably the next few tutorials gonna be like really quick tips which I really enjoyed. So thank you again for watching, and see you soon in the next Photoshop tutorial.